So I had this thought. Could the combination of the microdosing and the acupuncture at the same time have some kind of like synergistic effect? It really made me curious. So I decided to do a little bit of research, and here's what I came up with.
Enter the world of magic mushrooms with Microdose U.
So I'm going to share something today that I think you're going to be really interested in, but I got to give you a little tiny bit of a backstory at first because it's going to all make sense. Trust me on this. So, um, ever since I guess for the past 3 to 4 months, I've been dealing with some plantar fasciitis in my right foot. And if you're not sure what that is let's just say it's the inflammation of the fascia, and it's very, very painful around the heel and maybe even into the arch a little bit. But it's been crazy, and it started off not so bad. I could kind of deal with it, but then it got really bad, and I kind of had to limit like what I did. Even walking was really, really, really difficult. And I've tried almost everything. I've done all the research. I've talked to doctors. I've tried like everything I could do, anywhere from pain medication to topical to physical therapy to roller balls to special arches. I mean, you name it, I've tried it. And so it's been, and nothing really has made it better. And it's very, very painful. So about 2 weeks ago, I was talking to one of my neighbors, and I told him about my plantar fasciitis. And he said to me, "Hey, Dave, there's this acupuncture place down the street, and I'm going to highly recommend that you try it." And I said, "Well, I've done acupuncture in the past. It never did much for me." He said, "David, I'm telling you, go to this place, ask for this person. Her name's Laura. She's an unbelievable therapist. She's going to take care of you. I promise you." So I did it. I looked it up online. I made an appointment, and I went in there. They did a whole, little health history, and asking me like where it hurts and all kinds of stuff. And the bottom line is, um, for the first appointment, what they do, they sit you down in this really comfortable kind of like lounge chair. It's super padded and comfortable, and it goes way back. And she starts putting these little acupuncture needles all over my body. Like I figured, okay, acupuncture for my foot, they're going to be in the foot. But no, no, she puts these little needles in my scalp, in my ear, in my wrist, in my arm, and just different places, and also in my foot, of course, too. But I'd say if I had to guess how many needles she put in, probably, I don't know, probably 10. But sometimes you can't tell. It's hard to tell. Some of them hurt, some of them don't hurt. But by the time she finishes putting them in, she lets you lay back in this super comfortable chair for as long as you want. She said the average is 45 minutes. She said, I wouldn't do it any less than 30 minutes, but 45 minutes to an hour is really good. So that's what I did. I lay there for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and then I got up and left and made my next appointment. And I really couldn't tell much difference after the first appointment. I went in for another appointment, same thing. Second appointment, though, I got a little smarter. I brought my earbuds and listened to music the whole time, which was really, really good. It passes the time a little faster, and it's really interesting the way that whole thing works. But the third time, I said, "What the heck? I'm gonna microdose. I'm gonna eat a big chunk of chocolate. I'm gonna microdose this and see what happens." So this is the third appointment. I went in. I had already taken a big bite of chocolate in the parking lot already. I felt a little bit different from the microdose, and she does her needles thing. It seems like they didn't hurt as much the third time. And I don't know whether it was because I had my microdose going, or some other reason, but I didn't feel the needles as much from microdosing. And I listened to my music, and an hour went by, and it was just a beautiful experience. But the interesting thing is that after this third appointment, and it was the first time I microdosed there, it seemed like my plantar fasciitis started to feel a bit better. So I'm thinking again that maybe there's maybe there's something to this acupuncture thing. I'm going in for my fourth appointment. So that was a few days ago. I went in for my fourth appointment. I took even a larger bite off of the chocolate, a larger microdose. And same thing. And I got this really comfortable, that's like super large, comfortable chair, which is usually taken, but I got it this time. And I just laid back and immersed myself in this music, and the needles were inside of me and they were just doing their thing. And after this fourth appointment, and again, I took a large microdose. After this fourth appointment, I swear to you, my plantar fasciitis really like took a turn for the better, I would say. Like I turned the corner and I think things really started feeling better. So I'm thinking, like, was it timing? And I'm going to be going for more appointments. They say you need a bunch of appointments. It's nothing really happens after the first few, but it's a cumulative type thing. But I was wondering whether it's the timing or whether it's the microdose. So I had this thought. Could the combination of the microdosing and the acupuncture at the same time have some kind of like synergistic effect? It really made me curious. So I decided to do a little bit of research, and here's what I came up with. So first of all, microdosing psilocybin promotes, as you know, promotes something called neuroplasticity. It rewires the neural pathways. It rewires the brain. So that's the brain's ability to form new connections and pathways which help your body adapt and respond more effectively to various treatments. So when I'm microdosing before acupuncture, and of course during the acupuncture appointment, it might actually be enhancing communication between my brain and my body. This could actually be allowing my nervous system to process and respond to the acupuncture stimulation more efficiently. And another key connection is that both microdosing and acupuncture are known to reduce inflammation. I've taught you that before in previous episodes. A microdosing, psilocybin, is actually an anti-inflammatory. And inflammation is a major factor in plantar fasciitis. At the same time, acupuncture increases blood circulation and releases endorphins, which naturally reduce pain and promote healing. So when you combine these two approaches, microdosing and acupuncture, at the same time, they just might be working together to reduce inflammation from different angles. What's also interesting is how microdosing affects pain perception and emotional well-being. Remember when I told you the two appointments that I actually microdosed for, when they're sticking the needles in me, I felt I didn't feel them nearly as much. The second appointment I had when I was not microdosing at all was, I'd say, when they were poking me in my foot, for lack of a better term, it sent me like through the roof almost. But that didn't happen with the microdose. So somehow I was in like a more relaxed and open state of mind, which absolutely can make you more receptive to the healing process. Acupuncture already helps calm the nervous system and relieve stress. So combining it with the microdosing might actually amplify those benefits. And finally, microdosing heightens the mind-body awareness, making it easier to notice subtle changes during and after the acupuncture. That increased awareness can help you better integrate the healing effects, potentially speeding up the process. So after putting this all together, I think it's really likely that microdosing is helping my body become more receptive to acupuncture. It's not just about one or the other, it's the synergy between them that could be making a real difference. This stuff is really fascinating to me, and I'm really excited to keep exploring this connection. This is not going to be the last you're going to hear about it. I'm going to explore this connection and see where it actually leads. I'm curious if you've had similar thoughts, similar experiences about acupuncture or anything like that, acupuncture in conjunction with microdosing or whatever. drop it in the comments below. I'd like, even if you've ever acupunctured, that's probably not the right term. If you've ever had acupuncture, drop it in the comments below and let me know what you got acupuncture actually for, and did it help? And how many appointments did it take before it really started helping? And really importantly is acupuncture is not only for pain. Do you know people can acupuncture? I keep saying can acupuncture like it's not a verb. People can get acupuncture, and it can help with mental health issues as well, depression, anxiety, PTSD. Because what acupuncture actually does, it changes the energy flow, the energy flow that's going through your body, and it kind of, I guess, reorganizes it, if for lack of a better term. So depending on where the needles are placed, it does different things. Like she was definitely placing the needles in certain locations for my plantar fasciitis. So yes, she was put in the ear and on the scalp. But I said to her, I said, like, because she asked me every appointment, how is it doing? Has the pain moved around a little bit? And one time I told her the pain was felt a little bit more like on the outside of the foot. So I said to her, so do you place the needles slightly differently depending on where I tell you the pain is? And she said, absolutely, yes, she does. So the needles are placed differently depending on what you're coming in for, depending on where your pain is, or even if you're coming in for something else. So absolutely, I am going to be experimenting with acupuncture after I get rid of this plantar fasciitis. Like, what can it do for mental health? What can it do for depression? What can it do for anxiety? And, as I've told you, my anxiety and depression are pretty much gone since I started microdosing psilocybin, but still there's some days that might feel a little bit weirder than others. And I'm just really curious to see if this can like totally level me out in conjunction with the microdosing. This is, I mean, to me, this is super, super exciting. Look, I know it's not new. Acupuncture's been around for centuries. It's old. It's Eastern medicine. But I just wonder how many people have actually taken the time to think about it, or to study, or to do research on acupuncture in combination with microdosing psilocybin, or even look, even macrodosing. I don't know, but this is, I think there could be really something to this, and I'm going to follow up on this for sure and let you know what I've come up with, and let you know again, my foot pain. I know you're not here to hear about foot pain, but you are here to hear about healing. And like I've always said, everything is connected. And if acupuncture can help my foot pain, I am really confident it can help mental health issues, general health issues, and just keep you in a state of always feeling the best you possibly can. I'm absolutely a believer in this. Hey, and if you like this, really, I'd appreciate if you like, share, and make sure you subscribe, because I've got a lot more coming. Brand new episode every single Wednesday, and check the show notes for really important links to help you along on your journey, as well as my website, microdoseu.com. It's microdose with the letter U on the end of it. And a very short time ago, I actually did an episode on intuitive dosing. Can you just dose magic mushrooms based on how you feel? And if you're curious, yes, the answer is yes. And I explained the whole thing. The link is right here. And if you're listening to it on audio, I'll put it in the show notes. Talk to you next time. I'm Dr. Dave.